Hey y'all, it's been a while, but here we are back in business, newly improved. I took a little break to reset and self reflect and, just get better. Okay. So now I'm back. I will give y'all an update. It's been a year since going no contact with my mom. Um, I must say, it's very different. What I've experienced is realizing how damaging that relationship was to me and my relationships, my life, my parenting, my self-esteem, my confidence, my belief in myself. Like it really it really affects each and every one of those things that I said, right? And mother wounds are not to be taken lightly. I know that, I talk about it and, I preach my word and pass my encouraging messages, but it is also important to rest and take time for yourself and make sure that you good, you know, because I'm the type of person, and you might be too, but I'm the type of person that like I can handle a lot, right? My stress tolerance is kind of high. And like, sometimes I don't process things right then and there, like how severe it is or how it affects me, how I'm feeling and such, things like that. But there will be a time where I have to sit down and really evaluate and self-reflect and take that time for myself. And I think that's what I was doing, y'all. Like sometimes it just happens, like this healing process is not linear. It's like a squiggly line, okay? And the the pain is it can't compare to the joy that is coming. That I will say, and I truly believe that because sometimes you got to let things go in order to grow, you know? And sometimes it be the relationships closest to us that we don't want to let go, but we have to, for whatever reason. If it is holding you back mentally, spiritually, physically, you got to let it go. And until you let it go, you won't understand like what life is about, what your purpose is. And who you are as a person and who God called you to be, because it's so much noise in the background. It's so much distractions. It's so much um trauma and other things that you focus on that you can't really hear or see anything else. So you got to separate yourself from people who are weighing you down. um Even if they say they love you, even if it might be confusing, like sometimes it's good to take a step back and really evaluate, like, is this person good for me? How do they make me feel? And is this a relationship that I can keep going? He wants to be in the camera so bad. But is this a relationship that really affects me to the point where I can't no longer be myself? I don't know how to think for myself. My purpose is affected. I'm fearing failure, my self-esteem and stuff like that. And do they make me feel good? These are the questions that you should ask when you are considering reflecting on your relationships. Okay. Because if you were raised in toxic, how do you know what healthy feels like? How do you know what it is to be in a healthy relationship with somebody, right? And the answer to that is you got to pay attention to yourself. You got to be self aware. You got to practice self love. And then you'll come to understanding how that works, right? You are a compliment to others and you complete yourself. Okay. So you got to understand that the answers are all within yourself. Okay. Um, you got to pay attention to how people make you feel. We are getting to those times that we can't no longer risk being around people who make us feel bad. Okay. We can't no longer risk that. We can't no longer put that on the back. Okay, the back burner, whatever. We can't put that. like last. We got to put that first because that is one of the keys to our happiness. That is how we grow. It's necessary losses. It's how we grow. We got to be able to let it go, okay? And I know it's hard. And I know it's hard. I really do. Because sometimes when you cut off the mom, you got to cut off the whole family, right? So, like for me, oh my goodness. For me, it was that way. Like, soon as I cut off my mom, it's like, okay, now I got to cut off everybody else who maybe agree with her or are trying to make me feel jumped, attacked, or, whatever with her. And it's like, it's different because your family is who you come from. Um, it's definitely different. It's definitely painful. It's a painful thing to go through, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's not just just cut it off and everything's gonna be all right. No, it's a painful thing to go through because your family is where you come from, right? That's all you knew for how many years? Like I'm not gonna say my age on here, but that's you know for 20 something plus years, you know this is the family that you were born into. This is the family that and yes, it do hurt when you have to cut them off and stop talking to them. It does. But what hurts more is staying in places that you don't need to be. What hurts more is being disrespected. What hurts more is not being loved the way you should be loved. What hurts more is feeling like you're walking on eggshells, okay? When you want to build a relationship with a family member, mom, sister, whatever. Feeling like you're walking on eggshells all the time, right? There's a dysfunctional relationship to begin with. There's nothing that you can do about it because it takes them. Okay. It requires them to change too. And that's just something that they're not willing to do. Okay. Because if they were willing to change, if they were willing to put in the work, you wouldn't have to make a decision as no contact. Okay. Most of the time, these people are staying the same. Sorry. Most of the time, these people are staying the same. There's no changing. There's no, none of that. So it's definitely a painful thing to do. I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you. I'm not going to sit up here and sugarcoat it. It's a painful thing to do, y'all. Like, boo hoo, baby crying. Painful. Okay? But it gets better. Okay. But it gets better. It gets better. It gets better. You have to really believe that. You have to believe that. And all you may have is God, but that's all you need. Okay. This is definitely a journey with you and God. This is not breaking generational curses, practicing self love, getting the life that you deserve, that you desire, the you know the desires of your heart, following your purpose and all that requires you to stand out, okay? Requires you to separate yourself or God separates you, right? And you've been separated since the very beginning. You just never really knew it, right? But now it's coming to a time where you can't ignore how you feel anymore. You don't want to try to fit in. You cool with being by yourself and you don't got time for all that. You want to be happy. You want to be at peace. You've been through so much that now it's like, you know what? I just want better. I want better. I'm getting older. I'm raising a family. I want better. I want to live my life and be happy and um, get a closer relationship with God and really live in God's way, right? And how he intended us to live, right? And really have the fruits of the spirits, the peace, the joy, the happiness, abundance, prosperity. Oh my goodness, like all of this stuff comes with letting the Holy Spirit fill you up, right? Chase no man. You got to remember the family that you was born into is man, okay? They are human beings just like the rest of us, right? And you cannot change people, okay? You cannot put your trust in man. You can't change them. You can't put your trust in them. Um, put your trust in God. God will never steer you wrong. God will never fail you. And if you ever have a question about anybody, motives, or whatever, you pray to God. You ask God, is this a wolf in sheepskin? If so, please, God, remove him from my life. And watch what happens. Pray that prayer and watch what happens. But yeah, y'all, I'm just wanting to update y'all on some stuff. I know I rambled a lot, but my bad. I just, excited to talk. It's been a while. Um, I hope that everybody is doing very well. Things will get better. Keep your head up. Keep practicing self love. Keep God first. Um, do the things that make you happy to move that pain around. You got to release that pain. You got to release that anger, that sadness, whatever you're feeling from cutting off toxic families and your mom, cutting off your mom. Release, you got to find a way, got to find an outlet. Work out, journal. When you don't feel like writing anymore, sing, do voice audios and just talk, right? Talk to a trusted family, trust to talk to a trusted friend or a professional, right? Go outside, get some sun, clean your house, declutter, throw stuff out, like pray, listen to sermons and stuff, read your Bible. You got to find something that makes you happy and help you take your mind off of it for a little bit. It can drive you crazy, you know. Find something that helps you feel better, right? Things that make you happy, y'all. That's the answer. One day at a time, and then you'll be to where you want to be in no time. You'll see that things are slowly going to fall in place, I promise. So, and God always exceeds our expectations. Let me say that again. God always exceeds our expectations. So, literally, all of your heart desires, okay? This is worth it. This is worth being a loner right now. This is worth cutting your family off, okay? If they are bothering you to the core, if they are pushing you away from God, pushing you away from your purpose, this is worth it, y'all. This is the right decision. And this might be confirmation for somebody out there. This is the right decision, right? You've dealt with it for a long time. It had to be let go of. This is any toxic relationship in your life, no matter if it's mother, father, boyfriend, girlfriend, no matter who it is, if they are pulling you away from God and pulling you away from the person that God called you to be, pulling you away from your purpose, you gotta shed the weight. You gotta let them go, okay? Otherwise, you will be stuck in that same position, in that same spot, okay? And that's not where God wanted you to be. That's not where God called you to be, okay? God always called you to higher places. So just keep that in mind, okay? And God bless. I hope everybody's doing well. Keep taking care of yourself. Keep doing things that's necessary for your growth and your peace. Much love.